everyone, Chris Reeve, Talk Norwich City, trying to review today's game. Probably the most boring game of the season, probably the most average side to come up against Norwich this season. Probably the first time I've actually felt like leaving this season early. I think that there was, how would you even summarise that? There really wasn't anything to summarise. I thought Mo had a great chance in the first half to do something with the game. Unfortunately, he couldn't do anything with it, and I think that was the summary of our afternoon, really. I think we looked quite lacklustre. I think we looked quite tired. In fairness, when you're coming up against teams like Ipswich, at home, Derby, of course, and then you've got to go to the top of the league, Wolves. We managed to get a point there, which is fantastic. But you've got to follow it up with a win at home against a team like Bolton. That's no disrespect to Bolton. It's just a disappointment to Norwich. We should be beating sides like you guys. And I think, for me, I think it sums up where we're at. If it wasn't already, it's dead cert that the playoffs are definitely off now. Of course, it was going to be a challenge. I didn't really think that Norwich were, 100% going to get there. I did think that there was a glimmer of hope, but for me at the moment, we just look so poor going forwards. We really lack ideas. I don't think Josh had a great game today. I don't think we threaded the ball through enough to anyone today, which was what Mo Leitner was doing very well in his first couple of games, but struggled to do that today. And in fairness, Maddison had a quiet one, and I think it just shows that when Maddison has a quiet game, Norwich City are off the pace. I thought defensively we looked fine, like absolutely fine, but again in midfield there. For me today, I don't really like to say there's someone to blame as such, but I think if Daniel Farke doesn't learn from this type of game of football in the Championship, that if you're drawing 0-0 at home to Bolton, make your changes earlier. Especially with Wes Hoolahan. I mean, first of all, hallelujah, the guy's alive. But why bring Wes on that late? He's got to have time to grow and to build into the game, to get onto the ball, to try and thread some through balls through. Managed to do it a couple of times, but just wasn't on long enough at all. For me, genuinely gutted, because I think it's just I think now, obviously the players won't say this, but I personally think now the players are going to be thinking, right, okay, what am I doing next season? Am I at Norwich? Am I not? Because, when you're drawing and get at home to teams like Bolton, I think it just proves that we don't deserve to be in the playoffs. It proves that we are a mid-table Championship side. Really, really disappointed. I think that, we've now got, some very, very winnable games. But then I thought Bolton was a winnable game, and I thought that we should have got 3 points today. I think we had ample opportunities to do that, although we only had 3 shots on target, which is absolutely woeful. And then I say that, but I thought Nelson was fairly productive today. I mean, I've yet to see anything from Big D as well. I'm not completely judging him yet. I think he does need a couple of games to settle in. But again, he came on. I kind of thought, well, what are you doing? Are you running off the back of Nelson? Are you bringing the ball down for Nelson? Are you coming, giving and going? There wasn't really anything that I was particularly impressed with today from anyone. I struggled to see. Pinto's got to come back for Reed as soon as possible. Reed didn't have necessarily a bad game. I just thought that it stopped us moving forwards quicker on that side, and Josh has got to stick out wide. But maybe he's coming into the middle because he feels like he has to, like Nelson's feeling like he has to come out wide because he has to. Very boring. Hopefully, our next game is a hell of a lot better. But for me, this season's over. Big statement, but I think it is. I think, we just need to regroup, settle for the fact it's transition. I know it's frustrating to hear that, but look, at least we're nowhere near the relegation zone. On the ball, City.